I'm Alp Galip. As someone who has traveled to 63 countries, I honestly didn't have massive expectations about Belfast when setting out on our UK and Ireland road trip. I just thought, I spent 24 hours in Belfast, Northern Ireland, let's see how it goes. But this city genuinely shocked me. By the end of this comprehensive Belfast travel vlog, you'll be able to craft your own surprise-filled Belfast itinerary. You'll also learn from the mistakes I made and get exact daily costs, helping you plan a completely flawless trip. We kicked off the second day of our trip by stepping right into an immersive Belfast walking tour. This started right after breakfast at the centrally located Leonardo Hotel, where we paid €117 a night for 2 people. This hotel made our lives incredibly easy with its proximity to the station. It was just a 1-minute walk from the historic Grand Opera House. Unfortunately, due to renovations, we couldn't capture it in its full glory. Right across from the Opera House was Robinson's. This is one of the city's symbolic pubs, serving for over 100 years and catching the eye with its iconic exterior clock. Right next to it is the Crown Liquor Saloon. It is known as one of the world's most magnificent Victorian gin palaces and Northern Ireland's most famous historic pub. The large-scale hotels around this area prove just how justified the district's vibrancy and tourists' accommodation choices truly are. Right across from our hotel stood the Presbyterian Church headquarters in a Scottish baronial style. It was absolutely mesmerizing with its 40-meter clock tower. All these initial sights gave me a very comforting first impression. It immediately felt like a much calmer, cleaner, and highly walkable Belfast city break destination compared to other major UK capitals. After a short walk, the Belfast City Hall stood before us in all its glory with its massive front garden. This is undoubtedly one of the most ideal starting points for a perfect Belfast city guide. We strolled among the garden's monuments and statues honoring figures who shaped Northern Ireland's history. Right there, we witnessed the bustling activity of the Belfast sightseeing buses, departing for those wanting to explore at a faster pace. The public buses and metro buses frequently passing by showcased a highly dynamic public transport network. This is definitely a huge plus for anyone planning their Northern Ireland travel. We noticed a great variety of shops, cafes, and restaurants, keeping up with the daily rhythm of the area. Then, we directed our steps toward the Linen Hall. With a 250-year history, it holds the title of the country's oldest library. This elegant Victorian-era building quickly became etched in our minds. It houses priceless rare works, including the 1490 edition of Avicenna's De Anima and the first edition of James Joyce's Ulysses. We excitedly navigated the lively streets after leaving the library. However, we soon experienced the day's first and most unpleasant disappointment. We arrived at the doors of the historic St. George's Market without bothering to check the opening hours beforehand. Unfortunately, we learned the hard way that it is only open on weekends. We didn't let this minor setback ruin our mood. We continued along Victoria Street and reached Victoria Square Shopping Mall, the most central shopping hub of the city. Here, modern architecture seamlessly meets historical texture. The aesthetic Jaffe Memorial Fountain greeted us at this spot. Right next door is the historic pub The Beatles. It draws all eyes with its sharp and angular flat iron architecture. It was etched in our memories as a spot that absolutely must be photographed on your Visit Belfast list. After a brief walk, we suddenly found ourselves right in the middle of a highly energetic shopping street. We delightfully observed the shops on both sides and the stalls spilling out onto the sidewalks. The differently colored and themed cafes made the city look vastly more aesthetic. Our steps then led us to Corn Market, a large square where the crowd grew even denser. Here, the Spirit of Belfast monument stood in all its majesty. It symbolizes the city's strong industrial heritage of shipbuilding and linen, weaving through a modern artistic language. This square is truly where the heart of the city beats. It features everything from famous global brands to authentic souvenir shops. It is undeniably the most popular hangout spot for both locals and tourists looking for an unforgettable Belfast travel experience. Following the shopping district, we began to navigate through Belfast's old town with highly curious eyes. These streets occasionally burst with color and at other times became strangely deserted. We noticed a liberating atmosphere radiating from the LGBT-friendly bars and pubs frequently popping up in the alleyways. We also stumbled upon the Great Room restaurant. I initially mistook it for something else, but later learned it was a chic restaurant with spectacular exterior architecture that truly took me by surprise. We admired the boutique hotels and brilliant street art samples among the narrow streets. Then, I reached a point of serious frustration. We could see the sign of the famous bar we were looking for, but couldn't find its entrance. However, the moment we crossed into the back street, our spirits instantly lifted. We found the magnificent facade of the Duke of York. This is the most photographed spot in the city, famous for its cobblestone street covered in colorful umbrellas and fairy lights. It offers a literal visual feast for content creators. After capturing plenty of B-roll footage, we joyfully continued on our way. We walked along the authentic streets lined with boutique beer and whiskey shops. Their distinct and ambitious decors offered great visual aesthetics. They also gave visitors the opportunity to buy famous traditional products right from the source. Soon we reached the artistic heart of the city, the Mac Art Center, which hosts numerous award-winning cultural events, welcomed us with its modern structure. Nearby, the imposing St. Anne's Cathedral was truly captivating. Situated in the heart of Northern Ireland, it uniquely serves two different dioceses simultaneously, a rarity in the world. Right across from the cathedral is Writers' Square, which honors the area's literary past and overflows with open-air performances. While examining the square, we noticed the bicycles available for easy rental via the Barrel app. We realized once again how this practical alternative is perfect for quickly checking off the ultimate things to do in Belfast list. We left the culture-filled streets and took a short walk. Soon we passed by the leaning silhouette of the Albert Memorial Clock. Built to honor Queen Victoria's husband, it is one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. We continued our route without slowing down to put together a perfect Belfast 24-hour guide. Just a bit further down, we admired the historic Custom House. This elegant building was designed in an Italian Renaissance style in the 1850s by the famous architect Sir Charles Lanyon. Our final stop on this side of the city was the Salmon of Knowledge. This mosaic-covered salmon sculpture adds great color to the coastline and is a favorite tourist photo spot. Exactly at this point, we felt our energy deplete and realized we were seriously hungry. We stepped into the historic McHugh's bar and restaurant we had spotted slightly behind us. There, for a total of €50 for two, we enjoyed a steaming, delicious traditional Irish beef stew. It washed away our fatigue and provided excellent energy for the rest of the day. After filling our stomachs, we crossed the impressive Lagan Weir footbridge over the River Lagan. Taking in the city's various panoramic views from the bridge made our walk incredibly enjoyable. To be honest, this may not be the most flawless or glamorous city in the world. However, as a tourist, I hadn't encountered a single negative incident that made me feel uneasy. Especially when compared to the scenes in Dublin that I visited in the following days, which gave me serious safety disappointments. Belfast felt entirely different. I had definitely etched Belfast into my heart as a peaceful and very safe destination on our Ireland travel route. Shortly after crossing the bridge, the massive O2 Belfast Arena appeared. Formerly known as the Odyssey or SSE Arena, it proved just how large and modern of an entertainment center the city possesses. The Belfast Harbour Marina, stretching out right behind it, offered a very pleasant relaxation spot with its chic cafes and restaurants. In the very heart of the marina rose the Titanic kit sculpture. It seemingly brought Belfast's unshakable industrial leadership during the construction era of that legendary ship straight into the present day. In the same area, the SS Nomadic was resting on the waters. It holds a spine-tingling, monumental historical significance. It was specifically designed to carry passengers to the legendary Titanic. Today, it stands as the last remaining vessel in the world, from the massive White Star Line company to survive. As we all know very well, the Titanic Belfast legend was built right in these waters. Despite more than a century passing by, it remains one of the biggest lifebloods of the travel Belfast economy and tourism today. We explore the historic shipyard district, where the ship was drafted, designed, and its massive steel was forged. It offers visitors a literally immersive experience, from chic hotels to themed restaurants. Our final stop of the day was the massive Titanic Museum. It is absolutely a must-see, unique museum offering the world's largest visitor experience. Through a spectacular visual show, it narrates the ship's story from that very first drafting table to its construction, its tragic end, and the discovery of its wreck in the dark waters. Feeling quite exhausted after this intense and impressive tour, we called an Uber for €8. We returned to our hotel to prepare for our journey to Dublin the next day. We concluded this unforgettable day with €10 coffees at the hotel, followed by a dinner we ordered to our room for €46 later in the evening. Let's sum up the amounts we spent during this fully packed day in the city, including hotel accommodation, transportation, coffees, and dinner. We paid a total of €231 for 2 people. This amount equals a daily cost of €115 for a single person. However, it is absolutely possible to reduce this budget to much lower levels. You can easily do this by covering your food and drink expenses from supermarkets, utilizing walking distances, and opting for free activities. Even in the most flawless-looking plans, small hiccups can arise that are worth adding to solid Belfast travel tips. For example, failing to check beforehand that the iconic St. George's Market is only open on weekends was entirely my personal planning mistake. Similarly, we experienced a brief nervous breakdown while looking for the Duke of York bar. We focused on the wrong spot on the map and failed to find the entrance despite seeing the sign. But the moment we discovered the back street, everything turned into a sweet memory. It simply remained as one of those quirky little travel mishaps. After everything I've shared, you might ask what I asked myself before arriving. Is Belfast really worth visiting? Honestly, yes, and I'll say something I didn't expect to. It totally shocked me, for all the right reasons. With its calm, safe-feeling streets and deep history, it went way beyond my expectations. This is definitely a city that deserves a chance. And before you book anything, a heads up. Our UK and Ireland road trip continues at full speed with Dublin next, and that's where my expectations and reality crashed into each other very harshly. I've left useful reservation links offering great deals in the description box below, so check those before you plan. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comments where this road trip should take me next. I'll be waiting for your likes and your questions, and I'll see you on the next route.